By the 1880s, the popularity of bicycling, particularly in Denver's middle and upper classes, led some of the cyclists to organize bicycling clubs. And these clubs functioned both as social clubs and political organizations. As the number of bicycles on the streets swelled, inevitably there were conflicts between cyclists and pedestrians, cyclists and horses and carriages. And sometimes the city would try to rein in the cyclists, so to speak, with proposed laws that would ban them from the streets or require them to use the sidewalks or prohibit anyone over the age of 12 from riding a bicycle on a sidewalk. And the clubs proved to be very effective in organizing and bringing political pressure to bear on city governments to prevent the enactment of these kinds of measures. They were also, of course, primarily social organizations, and some of them were very wealthy. For example, the two most powerful bicycle clubs in Denver in the 1890s were the Denver Wheel Club and the Denver Athletic Club's bicycle division. Both of these clubs owned very extensive clubhouses. The Denver Wheel Club's clubhouse downtown in Denver was virtually a mansion with billiard rooms, bowling alleys, a swimming pool, dining rooms, apartments that members could rent if they needed to stay downtown overnight. The extent of these clubs underscores the wealth and the social and political power of these groups. When the Denver Wheel Club opened their new clubhouse in 1897, 1,700 people were invited for the opening ceremonies.
Around the turn of the century, the Denver Bicycle Manufacturing Company manufactured the bicycle in the early 1890s, continued up through the turn of the century and sold for approximately $14 because the bicycle industry at that time was competing with the automobile industry. So the price came down. They weren't as light as they weren't quite as refined. The rims are original rims. They're made by Lobdell. They're painted wood. Tires are the single tube pneumatics John Dunlop invented. They're glued onto the rims. The seat, it's like a piece of formed plywood which was bent. Underneath the leather is actual horsehair. And it was soft and compressed and they could work with it. The hole in the center was to bring air to cool the seat.